Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's been forever since I last uploaded. I think it's been like four or 5 months because my baby is gonna be 4 months next Friday. And if you guys didn't know, his name is Leonardo Mateo. His last name is Alvarez, like his dad. And today I'm gonna be filming my labor and delivery story before I forget like everything that happened, because during labor I really wasn't like paying attention to stuff and I do forget some things. So I am just gonna film that for you guys today, and let's just get started. He was born on November 20th, 2019, and his due date was November 27th, so he was a whole week early. I gave birth at 39 weeks. Okay, he's eating right here, so I have to like kind of watch him to make sure he doesn't drop his bottle. But okay, so the Monday of the week that he was born, which was the 18th, I lost my mucus plug because literally right when I woke up I had to pee so bad. So I went to the bathroom and then like I wiped and stuff and it was like light pink, and so I didn't really think much of it. I thought it was my mucus plug, so I was fine with it. I wasn't really concerned. And throughout the day I just felt really crampy and stuff like that. No like contractions, it was just like cramps, like period cramps. And then I just went about my day. And then later that day, like at night, around night time is when like contractions started, but they weren't bad at all. They like, I could walk through them, I could talk through them, I could like basically do anything, but I just felt them. I knew they were there, but they weren't painful or anything. And then I went to sleep, or I tried to sleep, but I wasn't like, I didn't feel tired. The contractions weren't like stopping me from sleeping. Like I could have slept because they were painful, but I just like I couldn't sleep. So on Tuesday morning, which was the 19th, I my water broke. It didn't break fully, you know, like not in the movies where like the water just comes out. It was like kind of trickling down like little by little, and it didn't break fully. So just remember that for later. So it didn't break fully. There was just like, it was like a tear, but my water was broken. So I called my midwife and I told her what had happened, and she said, okay, you should come on down for us to check you just to make sure that it was broken. And I went down there and she did confirm that it was broken, and I was only 1.5 centimeters dilated, which is like nothing because you have to be to a 10 to be able to like get your baby out and push. So by that time my contractions were a little bit stronger, but still not very painful. So she said she can either start me on Pitocin that day, or I could go home and try to like labor it out and see if contractions like increase more and get more painful. So I said that I wanted to come back home and see if contractions would get more painful. So I would walk around and stuff like that. I went to Target. I had my boyfriend take me to Target and I bounced on the yoga ball and I did all of that. And oh, and the midwife, I forgot to say this, she said that since my water was broken, if my contractions didn't get worse throughout the day, throughout Tuesday, then I would have to come back Wednesday morning at 9, because that would be 24 hours from when my water broke on Tuesday. And you shouldn't go longer than 24 hours without like starting the labor process if your water is broken, because you and your baby can get an infection. So she said if they don't progress, then come back Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. And I forgot where I left off before that, but I chose to go home to labor it out. And you know, I just walked around, bounced on the ball, and they were increasing, but they weren't apart, like the minutes apart that they had to be. They were like 7 minutes apart, and then 8 minutes apart, and then 5 minutes apart. They were just really different, and they weren't consistent. Like they have to be 5 minutes apart, lasting 1 minute, and then that has to be going on for an hour for you to be able to go back to the hospital. And so they weren't like that. I was tracking them down on an app, and I was just waiting and stuff like that. And I took a bath because by the end of Tuesday at night, they were starting to get painful. And so I just needed a bath to calm the pain. And so everyone went to sleep. We came up here and I tried to get some sleep, but I couldn't again. And so I just let my boyfriend sleep because I knew he was gonna need the sleep, because when we go to the hospital, I'm gonna need him awake. So we came to bed and stuff, and then I just waited because I didn't want to go to the hospital too early and stuff because I didn't want to be sent back home. So I just waited, and then at 1 in the morning, I woke my boyfriend up and I was like, okay, we need to go like right now. Like, they hurt. I need to see if I'm more dilated. And then I got to the hospital. It was 1 in the morning, Wednesday, and they admitted me and stuff, and they said, because like might as well admit me so that way I don't have to come back on Wednesday at 9. So I got a room and stuff, and then my midwife, she checked me to see like how much I was dilated, and I was only dilated 2.5. But while she was checking me, she noticed that the baby's head was like in a weird position. He was in the right position, like his head was down and he was like facing the right way and stuff, but like this is my like cervix and this was it. His head's supposed to be like this and it was like slightly like that, and that was because my water was broken because the pressure had been like taken off, and so we kind of got stuck there. So I had to do some exercises that were not fun at all to try to get him to be into that position that they wanted him to be. So I did exercises for like an hour or something. After I did all those exercises, they started me on Pitocin because my contractions just weren't progressing on their own and they weren't strong enough for me to dilate. So they gave me Pitocin and they increased my dose every half hour. So every half hour the nurse would come in, she would bump up my dose and stuff like that. But they were starting to get really painful, and my birth plan was to go unmedicated, but you know, sometimes some things don't work out, and these contractions were way too painful for me to just do it without medication. And so at 6 in the morning, I told the nurse that I needed the epidural and I wanted it. And so I got my epidural, and we waited for it to like give me some effect, and it didn't. It only numbed the right half of my body, and so on the left half of my body I could feel everything, and the contractions felt so painful, like the worst pain of my life, and I could only feel it all on one side and it was horrible. So we waited like, I don't know how long we waited. I really wasn't paying attention to like the time, but we waited to see if it could over time like numb the rest of my body, and it didn't. So we had to call back the anesthesiologist to take out my epidural and put it back in again. Like the whole process, oh my god, because you can't move while you're getting like the epidural in, because like that's dangerous, or like they're right there next to your spine. So I had to do that whole process twice, and oh my gosh, I was so over it. But with the second epidural, it did numb my body, not my whole body, obviously, because like the epidural just numbs like the waist down, but it did what it had to do, and I finally could rest. I honestly don't remember if I slept at all or anything, because like the pain and the fact that I haven't slept for more than like 48 hours, like I was just kind of out of it. So I don't know if I went to sleep or anything, but so all of that epidural stuff happened from like 6 to 7 in the morning, Wednesday morning. So I kept increasing my Pitocin and stuff, and then by like time passed by, I really don't remember from the time I got my epidural to the time I started pushing. I don't remember anything that happened between that time. Like it's just not there. So around I think 10:30 or around 10 to 10:30, I had this urge, like I had to poop so bad. Like I was just laying there and I was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna poop. And my nurse is like, did you just say you have to poop? And I was like, yeah, like I need to poop. And she's like, no you don't, that means your baby's coming. And I'm like, oh my god. But she called the midwife. So she checked me and she said that I was at a 10, but she wanted to give me an hour, like to see if like he could go down on his own and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay. But then like right as she was leaving, I was like, okay, like I can't wait an hour. Like you just have an urge to push. Like when it just, I don't know how to explain it. It literally feels like you're gonna take the biggest shit of your life and you need to push. And so I told her, I was like, I cannot wait an hour. He needs to come out like now. And so she said okay. She got everything ready. We did some practice pushes and then she got everything ready, like the little bed where he comes in, where he lays on, everything they brought. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is happening, like I'm really about to give birth to my child. Like oh my god, I was like kind of in shock that and so there is like on the bed, on hospital beds they have, well I don't know if it's every hospital bed, but on the labor hospital beds they have like the squatting pole. And so she lifted that up and then I put my feet on that, on it. They wrapped a sheet around the top and so I could pull as I'm pushing, which helped a lot. And so once I finished my practice pushing, she was like, okay, like you're ready to push. I forgot to say this. I forgot to put this in before. But as I said, like that I needed to poop, I just felt warmth, like a balloon pop and warmth just go down my legs. And I was like, I'm pretty sure my water like fully broke. And then she checked and she was like, yeah, I did. So when I said, in the beginning when I said it was only a tear, it was only just a small tear like at the top of my uterus. And then it fully popped, like broke, and it just everywhere. But as I was saying, I only pushed for half an hour and then he came out and he was born. And I do have footage of me pushing him out, like him coming out, but it wasn't enough footage to make a labor and delivery vlog, so sorry guys. Oh my goodness, he's a big baby. Say hi. Say hi. Usually he's very talkative. Obviously he doesn't like talk, but he's like coos and stuff. Can you say hello? Do you want hello? Anyways, that is my labor and delivery story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry if it was all over the place. I am not good at telling stories. Even though I wrote everything down, my brain just kind of goes everywhere. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.